Patreon.com/the Walk-Off Podcast. $4 a month gets you in there.
It is a Monday morning mailbag on a Tuesday afternoon kind of day. My favorite show.
Jays looking to steal more, perhaps. So this comment comes in from Dulcimerist. It says, something under the radar the Blue Jays have been doing is adding more speed to their lineup. Merrifield, Kiermaier, Varsho all have very good speed on the base paths to go with the speed of George Springer, Bo Bichette, and Cavan Biggio. With the rule changes, which include larger bags, limited pickoff attempts to first base, front office may be looking to capitalize.
Such an astute comment. Dolce nails it here. It is a little bit under the radar, a little bit of a sneaky move, bringing in the speed that they've brought in. Dalton Varsho is probably the closest thing the Blue Jays have had to a 30-30 guy in a decade. I'm not saying he is going to steal 30 bases and hit 30 home runs, but the potential is there for him to do it. He is an incredible base runner. For a guy who looks like a football player, the man can move. Another really interesting one, too, is Kevin Kiermaier. And Kevin Kiermaier is not necessarily a base stealer, but Kevin Kiermaier is a guy you're going to see go first to third all the time in 2023. He's a dude who is going to force the outfield to test the arm and stop him from scoring from second base. And this is an aspect of the game of baseball that maybe hasn't been as prevalent in previous years within this Blue Jays organization, and we are definitely going to see more of it. And again, with the rule change, right, bigger bases, it's just going to be more conducive to the base stealing game.
You mentioned Dalton Varsho looks like a football player. I made the mistake of saying when we first acquired him, this guy's built like a tight end. It was pointed out to me that he is not a tall man.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize this. Dalton Varsho, short king, listed at 5'10", and from what I've heard, that's a generous 5'10". Now,
one of those.
I'm looking at Alejandro Kirk listed at 5'8". I don't know if that's a generous 5'8", but I want to see those two butt to butt on the sidelines, and let's see who's taller. I mean, we all love watching Alejandro Kirk run, but maybe watching Varsho go first to third, maybe that'll be my new highlight that I'm looking forward to. Yeah, I mean, speed on the base paths. I mean, we're talking about tweaking the team and trying to pull wins from the margins, right? And this is how you do it. And I don't know how many, we're talking rule changes, right? I don't know how many extra stolen bases this is going to amount to. I risk the comments already about being a Rogers shill here. But again, I do have to just acknowledge the fact that this team does appear to at least be making an effort to build a roster for what baseball is becoming, not what baseball was. So I think there's value in that, and you're not going to get it absolutely right, absolutely every time. But
I think another thing sorry, go ahead, Adam.
Just with these, there's two areas of rule changes that I think this team has addressed roster construction. One, with the shift restrictions. The moves this offseason have been in a way to get in front of that. And the only being able to have 3 outfielders instead of 4. That limit of the shift, the Jays have gone maybe too far. We'll see. Like, there's a chance that that's the case. They've gone overkill on the defensive outfielders. But at least they are looking at the way baseball is going, and they're guessing to the best of their ability. And we can question how good is their guessing ability. But at least they're making an attempt to go, this is where baseball's going. Let's get out in front of it. Let's get some defensive guys out there. And then the same thing for the speed. I think this is a great point by Dulcimerist, that with the bigger bags, it's going to be 6 inches shorter between
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's 3 inches on each bag. We're talking about bang bang plays, right? Like how many times?
Yeah.
6 inches doesn't sound like a lot to the casual
But it's a
fan,
lot.
to the hardcore fan. You forget how many times a year do you see a guy and it's instant replay because it's so close, such a bang bang
Mm-hmm.
play, right? We're
Mm-hmm.
talking about every one of those bang bang plays is now safe by a mile. Or, you know, like
Yeah.
in slow motion when you're looking
No,
at it,
for
you go,
sure.
oh, he
You're
was
100%
way
right.
there, right? So stolen bases could be up 300% this year. Who knows?
I think another thing really worth mentioning here is that speed does not translate directly into stolen bases into good base running. I mean, Teoscar Hernandez had the best foot speed on this entire Toronto Blue Jays team. He was the fastest man on this team. He never stole bases, and he was a real bonehead on the base paths. Now, yes, when Teoscar was chugging from first to home, it was a beautiful thing to watch. As long as there wasn't any thinking involved or, you know, needing to make any in-game decisions, Teoscar was great. Fastest guy around. But I think having some guys on the base path with some baseball base running acumen, you know, like Dalton Varsho stole 16 bases last year. And I think just with that 6 inches Adam just talked about, you can add 4 more on there. You got a 20 base stealer without him doing anything more than he did just last year. Kevin Kiermaier is another guy we talked about his base running acumen. Anyways, go ahead, Adam. Sorry.
Nope, I was just gonna make a inappropriate joke about 6 inches being all you need, but we're just gonna cut it there. Makes a big difference. All I'm saying. I'm grown up. It is what it is. Okay. Well, anything else to add here? Speed on the base paths. I'm excited to watch this team. It's a little. We're gonna talk this in a second here. There's a lot of negativity toward Bo Bichette, and we'll get to that. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but there's just so much negativity towards aspects of this team. I genuinely question if these people that are commenting are actually Jays fans or just not and are just trolling. Like it's just a Yankees fan who's in here like, oh, Bo Bichette sucks and whatever. Like,
yeah.
I'm so excited to watch this team. I don't know.
I am too. I am so curious how this all plays out because it is going to be interesting to see how these tweaks, this new direction, and it's a full-on new direction. Defense first.
Yeah, it's I don't know. A lot of the negative comments that I do see are related to, well, this team isn't going to win the World Series with this roster anyways, right? Everyone's entitled to watch sports or movies or whatever in whatever fashion they want. But if you are a Blue Jays fan who tunes in September and is just there for the playoff run, and if it ends early, you're missing out. Like, this is 6 months of entertainment we have coming up, and I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. I'm gonna cut all this from the segment because this is just bumming me out. So,
okay.
All right, let's move on from there, shall we?